What's up, guys? One Koala Man here, bringing you episode number 57 of our Fairy Tale Reviews. And today's episode, guys, okay, I think episode number 5 was the last time that things were just happening every freaking where of this episode. And today, every single thing you can imagine is happening. There's so much going on in this episode, so bear with me, guys. But if you like today's episode, be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does mean a lot to me. Be sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel, because I welcome every single one of you, old and new, to the channel with wide open arms. And be sure to answer the question of the day and follow me on Twitter, both which will be in the description down below, so give those a bit of a look. And with all that said and done, guys, let's get this mother underway. So we start off where we left off last episode, and that's Leon getting freaking blown to smithereens, from what we know, by Racer. And then Gray and Sherry are down, went down the cliffs, because Gray still thinks that, no, Leon can't be dead, okay? He's still alive, so they go down to look for him. And then, meanwhile, with Jura, he finally sees, like, the person following him, and the person that's following him is Hot Eye. And so they start, getting into it a little bit. And the interesting thing is that their magic is, like, completely opposite from each other. Like, they both work with, like, the earth and ground and rocks and whatever. But Juru's magic solidifies things, while Hot Eye's magic liquefies things. So it's a very interesting fight that's going on between them. And then we go to where Lucy, Hibiki, and Urza are camping out, and Natsu finally gets there with the knocked out Carla, the knocked out Happy, and the knocked out Wendy. But he shakes Wendy. He's like, "Wendy, wake up. You gotta wake up, okay? We gotta save Urza." And she eventually wakes up, and the first thing she says is she's sorry. She can't just stop apologizing. It's kind of getting annoying at this point, but it's whatever. I mean, she did do something stupid. She revived Jalal, and Jalal's doing his thing. But Natsu is, like, so desperate at this point. He says, "Look, I'm willing to forgive you. Just please, you gotta save Urza." And so that's what she does. She goes up to Urza, and she pulls some Lady Tsunade Sakura stuff, and she heals the poison from Kubelios like that. Speaking of Jalal, we go to Jalal, and he's at this giant tree, and Cobra's tailing him. And he's saying to himself, like, okay, so Cobra's saying to himself, like, he's like, "I can't hear this guy's inner thoughts. That's probably why I have to be tailing this guy so much." So, obviously, Jalal's not thinking of anything, so maybe he's just like a zombie, so he's not really thinking of it. But then again, he did say Urza in the last episode, so he's got something going on in his head. But anyways, he gets to this giant tree, and I'm guessing it's Nirvana. And what he does is, like, he puts his hand up to it, and he, like, activates this tree, and this giant beam of, like, a black and white light just shoots out of this tree. And this sucker is huge. Like, it is so huge and substantial. Is that the word? I don't know. It's so huge that everybody just stops what they're doing, and they're just looking at this giant beam. Everybody. I mean everybody that is doing this, okay? That is, like, in this episode. Everybody just stops what they're doing. Even Jura and Hot Eye just stop what they're doing with the fighting, and they just look at this beam of light. And then all these other dark beams start shooting out of it. So I'm guessing Jalal just activated Nirvana for the Arashi says. Good job, Wendy. It's all your fault. So Natsu assumes that Jalal is the one that activates it, because, I mean, why not, right? So Jalal is, like, really smart, real cunning, a real evil genius, if you say. And so Natsu runs off to that black light that's shooting out from the ground. Of course, doing something reckless. And then we find out that Urza's gone too. So I guess Urza followed Natsu, who is following that beam of light shooting out of the ground. I don't know. Urza's gone, Natsu's gone. The rest of that squad is, like, kind of stuck in the dark. And as this Nirvana is, like, starting to take effect, we notice that trees, like, surrounding the area are all, like, getting their life force sucked out of them. They're, like, turning dead and dark. Meanwhile, Gray and Sherry are still looking for Leon, And Sherry's just standing there looking at Gray, and she's like getting all these negative thoughts. She's got that shading on her eyes, like she's like turning evil or something like that. And she's saying somebody has to pay for this, okay? Somebody has to pay for killing my love. And she sees Gray, and she's like, he's the one. He has to pay for this. So while something is happening within Sherry's mind, something else is happening within Hot Eye's mind, and he is just losing it. He does not know what to do. He's just screaming, holding his head, and it is just chaos everywhere. Okay, nobody knows what the friggin' heck is happening. So it's ridiculous. There's so much going on in this episode. You guys just gotta check this episode out. So back with Lucy's squad, Wendy is like saying to herself, like, this is all my fault. None of this would have happened if I didn't rescue Jalal. Yada yada yada, thinking all these negative thoughts. And then Hibiki like knocks Wendy out, and I'm thinking, what's the problem, man? She's like a 9-year-old girl. But I don't know, he did have a reason when they were like, you know, talking a little bit later, and he was saying that what Nirvana can do is that it can make someone good into someone evil. So I'm guessing that's what's happening to Sherry. It like takes the vulnerable and switches them. So Sherry, since she just lost the love of her life, she's like real weak, real emotional right now, and she's just thinking of like payback. And so Nirvana's like using that against her, and she's turning evil. And then Hot Eye turns out is turning good, because the only reason why he loves money is because he thought if he made enough money he can find his long lost little brother. Or his older brother. I think it's his little brother. But anyways, his little brother's missing. And then he just turns good. He apologizes to Jura. He's crying everywhere. He's being all emotional. And he's saying, look, we can stop the irrational state. So let's do this, partner. And Jura's like, what is happening? What? You were just saying money is the best thing out there. And now you're saying it's the root of all evil. And he's just as confused as I am. Probably as confused as you are watching me try to talk about this episode. And Hibiki also mentions that the Nirvana can do anything that the caster sees fit. And so since Jalal is technically the caster of Nirvana, it can pretty much do whatever he wants it to do. So I don't really know where this is gonna go yet. And also, Midnight is on the loose, okay? And his first victim is poor little Eve from Blue Pegasus. He just destroys Eve without even breaking a sweat. And that is the end of the episode of Fairy Tail. Alrighty guys, you already know I don't like to end off these episodes without a question of the day. So today's question of the day is, which character, either good or bad, would you want to see turn into, like, if they were good, would you want to see... Like, which characters would you want to see turn good or evil, in other words? Like, I would really want to see Natsu turn evil. You know how awesome that would be? An evil Natsu? He'd be on a rampage. I honestly think the only person that'd be able to stop Natsu, like legit, is probably Gray. Because Natsu and Gray both have that emotional oomph to them that they both really want to win. So I think they'd either knock each other out, kill each other, or end up, you know, tying. Like, I don't think either of them would be able to beat the other, because their emotional drive is just too strong to lose. So either Natsu or Gray being evil would be awesome. But leave your suggestions down in the comment section below. And that was a rough episode, guys. Today was a rough episode because there's so much going on, but go ahead and check out that episode for yourself to see how difficult it is to keep up with it. But that's all for today. So, as always, guys, keep it cool.